everybody, it's me and Lewis. This is our pug Lewis. Say hey. Hey everybody. And well, he's not gonna last up here for very long, but we wanted to talk to you about Poshmark. The 3 P's of Poshmark: pricing, people, products. Pugs? Nah, he's done with that. All right, so anyway, that's enough fun with that. Oh, see the disadvantage of dogs, pet hair. Gross. Okay, so many of you have asked me to do a video like this, so I'm calling this Poshmark 103, the 3 P's, products, pricing, and people, or however you want to order them. Today, I guess we're gonna order it because my notebook says people, products, pricing, so that's how we're gonna roll with it. All right, so let's get started. If you haven't watched my other videos, especially Poshmark 101, that is gonna be a great place to start. This video is just fine to watch, but if you really are just brand new to Poshmark, you're gonna wanna head over to 101 and then 102, which will be my shipping video, all about how to ship on Poshmark. And if you don't know who I am the Bexa boss lady, and I don't know why I'm banging my hands on the table, but I am your, I don't know, reseller, boss lady reseller who teaches you my ways. And that's really all there is about it. So let me share with you my knowledge about Poshmark, and if your experience is different or you have something to add, make sure you comment below, because I have a lot of new people coming and finding me on Poshmark and saying hi, which I love so much. So thank you so much. I'm glad my videos are helping you. But there are lots of ways of doing things. So if you do something differently than I do and it works for you, please post it in the comments. I am all about sharing the wealth of information there is out there. And like I've said in every single video I do, there is no one right way to do them. So let's get started. Let's talk about the people of Poshmark. Now, this is not like the Walmart, people of Walmart, where they make fun of the people. Let's genuinely talk about the people of Poshmark. So I would say the majority of sellers on Poshmark and buyers are women. I mean, I don't know what their statistics are. I'm gonna try to go to PoshFest so I can get into the nitty-gritty of the numbers of the app and what they actually have as consumers and things like that. But I have probably sold 2 things to 2 men in my whole life on there, and it's been 2 years that I've been selling on Poshmark. So you want to think about your audience. Poshmark's audience is a little bit different from eBay. I think eBay audience, those people are looking for either very specific targeted items, like vintage stuff or unique pieces, or really great deals. Seems to be really great deals. My friends who have gone to eBay Open, which was last week, this is 2017 if you're watching this in 2019, so a lot may have changed. Anyway, they have said that people are looking for a bargain on eBay. And that's not necessarily true on Poshmark. I can tell you that most of my items, if I did a breakdown of my items sold, majority of the time I have the same item listed on eBay for lower price and it will sell on Poshmark for the higher price. Most people don't go searching for the same item on all sorts of different platforms. I do. I'll look on like 12 different sites before I buy something, unless it's the exact same thing I'm looking for at the exact price. If that's the case, I'll just go ahead and buy it. But most people that are on there are looking for, nice stuff to add to their wardrobe, or just they're looking for deals. Everybody's looking for a deal. Nowadays, everyone wants a deal. Isn't that why we buy used clothes? It's because we want a deal. Yeah, and we don't want to pay full price. So know who your audience is. If you look at some of the really big Poshmark sellers, like the ones who are making, or selling 6 figures a year on Poshmark, and they're selling hundreds of things, probably 1,000 if you're making that much money a month, they are selling very similar merchandise in their Poshmark store. And if you look at my Poshmark store, there are some things. I am Boss Lady Resale on Poshmark. If you are looking, you can look at while you're watching my video. Or unless you're on your phone, you can't do that. But anyway, well, yeah, you could go on your computer and do it. Okay, whatever. So what you're gonna do is look at you see that I have a similar style for most of my stuff. I have very similar sizing for most of my items, and that is to increase people buying bundles, buying pieces of things, multiple items at one time. And that is part of the fun game about Poshmark, is you can bundle things. The sucky part about it is you have to pay shipping for multiple sellers, and you can't combine your stuff with multiple sellers into one shipping. So that's kind of annoying. And I just had the same thing happen to me personally. Yesterday, I bought some stuff on Etsy, and it was the same situation. It was, 3 different sellers. I had to pay 3 different shipping prices, and it was really annoying. But they had the specific thing that I wanted, so I bought it. I bought the 3 things anyway. So the people on Poshmark are really, you want people to be able to come back for more. So as you're thinking about basically curating your closet, you kind of want to look at what you're going to specialize in. Well, not necessarily specialize in, but you want something that is kind of complementary. So you want complementary items into your store. It would be very odd if you had, and there are people who do this. So I know I say that it's odd. Maybe that's not the right phrase. It's interesting to see closets that have a very wide range assortment of items. It's also unique to see that. Most Posh closets most of them are people selling their own stuff. And if that's the case, it is going to be similar because it's going to be that person's style. And if you look in my closet, my personal closet here in the house, it's very similar to my Poshmark closet. A lot of the items are from my personal closet, but when I shop to resell stuff, it is the same style clothing. And that is because I know it, I like it, I would wear it, and that's why I buy it. Now, sometimes it gets me into trouble because honestly, I end up buying some things that maybe other people don't like, and it sits in my closet. It happens. It has happened, it still does happen, and I'm like, God, why is no one buying this? It's so cute. It just happens to be. And you want to start following people. So you find the suggested users on Poshmark and you follow them and you share their stuff and they share your stuff. And during parties, you follow the host of the party and you share their stuff. So it's all about engaging with other people on Poshmark. It's very much a reselling social media site, I guess you could call it. And they really encourage you to talk to each other and follow each other and share each other's stuff, which is fantastic. I think that's great. It is a little bit more time consuming, but like I have said in other videos, you can share your closet when you are going to the bathroom, when you're in the bathtub, when you are watching TV, when you are laying in bed at night. I know most of you are on your phone in your bed. I know I am. It's a horrible habit. Whatever. And there are lots of times to share. You want to share your stuff around parties. That seems to be when more people are online, specifically the 7 p.m. West Coast time, 10 p.m. East Coast party. Most people, like I just said, are laying in bed on Poshmark. And that tends to be when a lot of my sales happen, are between the hour of 9 p.m. to midnight. So just keep that in mind as you're sharing things and listing and making that time a priority. So as you're sharing things, you want to share your own stuff first. I have 300 things. I have 298 things right now available in my closet. It takes me forever now to share my stuff. So I share my whole closet 3 times a day during the 3 parties, and I make sure my complimentary stuff, or the stuff that should go into the party, goes into the party, and then I just regularly share my other stuff. Sometimes if I'm just at the computer doing bookkeeping or whatever, I will go in and just kind of share a few at a time to keep the momentum going. Let's see. So I talked about sharing, we talked about people. Let's talk about products. So I talked briefly about your products. Now, I've gotten a lot of questions from everyone about what should I buy? What should I buy? Where should I go buy it? I would love to sit here and be able to say, go here and buy stuff. And unfortunately, that just isn't the case. And for me right now in Washington, D.C. area, the Goodwills and the pricing there are very, very expensive. So now I'm having to get more creative with sourcing, and really all it is trial and error, going to different places, looking for different ways to get stuff. And there is no right way to do it. You know, I don't have a Goodwill outlet near here. Well, there is one, but I've heard bad things about it. And I'm trying to make it a trip down to the other one in Virginia, but you know, it just hasn't worked out yet for me to be able to go down there. So, you know, I have to get creative. You have to start with your own stuff. And I cannot emphasize this to you enough. Find 10 things out of your own closet, out of your husband's closet, out of your kid's closet, out of your sister's closet, your mom's closet, your husband's, mother's, cousin's, sister's, brother. Find 10 things a week for 4 weeks. List 10 things a week for 4 weeks. That's it. That's all I want you to do. I want you to get practice and learn what it takes to really list this stuff. Because I could sit here and tell you where to buy all sorts of stuff, and if you're not actually learning how to do the process, it's so stupid to go out and buy a bunch of crap that you don't even know if it's gonna sell and have it sit in your house. So if you are just getting started, please do that first. If you've gotten started and you feel like you've kind of eliminated most of the stuff from your closet that you want to get rid of, and you've made some sales and you're just trying to kick up your game, I would tell you to go onto, you know, like Google or Yelp or whatever, and just search thrift stores in your area, find out where the Goodwills are, and just go, and don't set any expectations for a shopping trip. Just go and look and see what you find. If you happen to come across like Tory Burch flats for $5, I mean, that's great. Buy them. They will sell in a heartbeat as long as they're real. But just go and get an idea of the prices, because the prices at your, you know, like I said, Salvation Army and Goodwill and those places are often so different depending on where you live. In Ohio, they're about 30% less than they are here. And I know that because I'm from Ohio, so I've been to lots of those thrift stores. But you have to go around, and you just literally have to go like a treasure map. You plug them into a map and you say, okay, I'm gonna go to these 5 places this week or in the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna see what they have. I'm gonna see what their prices are. You know, get a little notebook, write it, keep your notes of what you liked and what you didn't like about the different places, and just go do it. Literally, there is no other way to do it than to just go explore. I will tell you that if you have Goodwill bins by you, Goodwill outlet centers, that is its own experience, and you really have to dig through stuff. You want to take gloves, that's a whole nother video. But if you go to small mom and pop donation shops like hospital thrift stores, church thrift stores, a lot of people go to yard sales and Goodwill, or yard sales and garage sales. They search Craigslist and these other apps now like OfferUp and try to find things that way. I don't do that. I have no desire to do that. And this is part of the reason this job is so great, because you can do whatever you want and you just find what works for you and what works for me, and we share information and we go about our day. And that's pretty much that about products. Now, on Poshmark, as far as products, you want to stay, I've talked about this a little bit before, but you want to stay with the trendier brands on Poshmark. You can also get away with, on Poshmark, more of the non-name brand stuff. It's a really cute item. So I have sold a bunch of skirts and a couple dresses that really were, I don't even know what the brand was. I think that's probably just a generic, sorry guys, just a generic brand. But they sold, and they sold for, you know, a decent amount. So you don't really need a ton of designer stuff in your store. I do really well with J. Crew. I do really well with, I'm totally blanking, I don't know why. Shoes, I love selling shoes. And Anthropologie does really well for me also. So, but Anthropologie, you have to know the brands. So again, go into Anthropologie, look at the brands, Go into Lululemon, look at the styles, look at the prices. Go into the mall and look at Urban Outfitters and these stores like Zara and get an idea of what the trends are, because that is what is going to be a hotter sale item than anything else. My biggest mistake this year when I started to go more in a full-time direction to pay for my big surgery that I had in March, I needed about 10 grand plus, was I went and just bought anything that I thought was cute. And a lot of that stuff in July, so that was in February, and now I am just basically giving away on auctions in eBay because they were really stupid buys. But up until, last fall, I was only selling my own stuff on an in and out basis in my closet. So I really wasn't going out and buying a bunch of stuff to have into an inventory. And so it wasn't only through me learning what would sell in my closets and what people were buying that I learned what to buy next. And so there really is no rhyme or reason. Now, I will tell you that if it's broken or stained or damaged, I would not sell those on Poshmark. I sell 100% of those items through on eBay and just auction them off. Like, if I buy a whole bunch of stuff and I realize something's damaged, I just sell it straight up damaged, 99-cent auction on eBay. There's nothing really you can do about that unless you run a redonate it, which you're more than you can do that. But I really try now to I cross-list almost everything. You have to pay attention to the rules of Poshmark. Let me see if I can. I have pug hair all over me. It's a huge pet peeve of mine. All right, so if you go into Poshmark, the Poshmark app and you go into, best of bags party. I actually don't sell a lot of bags. And the reason I don't sell a lot of bags is because I don't own a lot of bags. I buy one or two expensive bags. I use it until I can't stand it anymore. I sell that bag and I buy another bag. So for me, I don't have a bunch of bags lining up in my closet. So if you go into the Poshmark app here, and at the bottom, I don't know if you can, right here, there are like frequently asked questions and a support center. So if you go into the frequently asked questions, you can search what is allowed. Let me see. I think you just search it. Let's see. What can I sell? And guys, this is literally all I do is just Google search stuff. So you cannot sell. All right, Poshmark strictly prohibits the sale of illegal items, replicas, fakes, furs, endangered species. No selling weird animals on Poshmark. Prescriptions and stolen goods. Okay, so just don't do that. Let's see. You also can't sell like mugs, housewares. Here we go. Electronics, cell phones, books, DVDs, home goods, used makeup, used underwear, any health or wellness products. Examples like lotion, body wash, diet supplements, protein powder, body wraps, breast pumps, curling irons, hair straighteners, and non-fashion kid or baby items like toys, bedding, strollers, bottles, formula, diapers, and miscellaneous gears. Those will get you kicked off of Poshmark, so be cognizant of what you can and you can't sell as far as the actual app, because that way you can stay in compliance and you have a happy closet. So when you want to become a suggested user, there are also rules for that, and this is your homework to figure out how to become a suggested user, and I'm going to give you a hint. It's in that section that I just showed you, the Poshmark FAQs. Search suggested user and there it will tell you everything in there, and it does take a while. So if you think you want to be a suggested user, it's going to be down the road. What else can I tell you about products? I've talked about images. Watch my other video when I talk about pictures and how I take them, and lighting. Lighting is very important. All right, so once you know what you're gonna sell, so you're on Poshmark, you're following people, you're sharing their stuff, you're sharing your stuff. That's the P part, right? First P, people. Then you get your products. You decide what you're gonna sell and you start listing them. And then you come to the place where you have to put the price. What do you put in there? Okay. There is no right or wrong answer for this too. I know you're gonna hate this video and everyone's gonna be like, thumbs down. But the reality is there are things that sell on Poshmark for a crazy amount of money that I would never spend. And there are also things that just sit there. I'll give you an example. There are Tommy Hilfiger things selling right now on Poshmark from the 90s for $50, $60, $70, $100, $150, okay? Once that fad goes away, you'll never be able to get rid of those. So I limit that stuff to only a few items, the really hot items, the items you know are gonna sell like that. I have really nice designer jeans that are just sitting in my closet. There's no rhyme or reason. They are great pictures because I took them, right? Just kidding. Okay, so they're great pictures. They're described. I don't know. Is it saturated? Is the market saturated for Citizens of Humanity jeans? I don't know. I know you guys, if you're watching my videos, you've heard me talk about these dojo jeans. I just sold a pair on eBay in less than a day for $64.99. They are used jeans. I don't know. There's no give or take. Those sell, the others don't. Some are hot, some are not. Hot or not, hot or not. Wasn't that a website like in the 90s? I think I was in high school when that came out and you could like say if people were ugly or not. I don't know. Okay. I hope that doesn't exist anymore. That's kind of gross. So pricing, what I typically do, and again, I know most of the original prices of my items because I buy them for my own closet. So if you are not familiar with the different brands, you want to search them. Really, I use Google all day, every day. I do image search, keyword search, product search. I search the style, the name, the brand. I don't know if I have a J. Crew skirt in here, but I'll give you a hint. This is not J. Crew, but on your J. Crew items in the side, there is a tag that will be down on the side here, and it will give you a style number. And if you search J. Crew style number skirt, 90% of the time it comes up unless it's a really old year. So that's all I do. I go through, I Google the item so I know what they are. If they're dress pants, a blazer, if it's cabbie, they also have the number of the item in there. If it's a Lily Pulitzer, you want to make sure you get the print of it. What else? If it's Lululemon, go to lulufanatics.com and you can find the names of different stuff. Just search, okay? So you're gonna search sold listings. If you don't know how to do that, I think I have done it on another video, but let's just say we're gonna search J. Crew. Okay, so we're gonna search J. Crew and we're gonna go up here to the filter button, and down at the bottom here, it says availability, and you are gonna search sold items. And they will all come up with a little red flag there. You can narrow it down to category. You can, so let's say we want to do, let's say, oops, we're going to do category shoes, okay? We're going to do moccasins. Okay, so it will show you. So you can see exactly what's selling and for what price, okay? Now, I kind of meet everyone in the middle. If my item is pristine condition, I will raise up the price. Poshmark has now become a point where everyone is doing offers and this, that, and the other, bundle offers. So I do price my items about 30% higher than I think I'm gonna get for them. So I have a pair, let's say you have a pair of $100 dress pants. So retail, they're $100. And basically very few items sell for more than 50% of their retail price. So that's $50, right? You want to pay attention to the categories of what people are searching for. So the lowest dollar amount is $0 to $49. So instead of putting it at $50, you would put it at $49. Depending on how much I paid for the item, my goal is to get $20 profit plus per item. And that isn't always possible with my old sourcing techniques and places I used to go. I had to find new places, venture out to other parts of the town, see what else I could find. And finally, I found a place where I could get some stuff for way cheaper than like $4 or $5 an item, which is crucial if you want to make money. This is any business. You got to get your upfront costs really low, and then you can sell it for a higher dollar amount, and you make more money that way. So now all the items that I'm listing are a really great price that I paid for them, instead of paying like I said, $4 or $5, $6, $7 for an item and then selling it for $25 and not really getting much back. Most people offer the dollar amount of shipping. I don't know, because then they don't pay for shipping. I don't really know, but it seems to be majority of offers that I get are for basically like $6 off. In the offers, you can go back and forth. I will tell you not to get greedy. If it's an item that you're willing to hold on to, and it's just something, if you are just selling your own stuff and you really don't care whether or not it sells quickly or not, then price it at what you want. Price it normally where everybody else is, and then just don't lower it. If you don't want to go any lower, that's fine. You can put price firm. I tend to make sure that there's room to buffer. People rarely pay full price on Poshmark. I rarely ever have like, oh, they bought this now. It just doesn't really happen. So most of the time it's through an offer, and that is the exciting part, because then you can go back and forth. Now, I have been dumb and like countered with $2 more in trying to get extra money. And what happens is the item ends up sitting in my Poshmark closet for another 2 months instead of just taking that dollar amount and moving on. You have to suck down your pride and just hit accept, even though you don't want to and you really want that extra $2. But it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. Take the money and run. So if it's a hot item, search that first. Like I said, those Tommy Hilfiger things, those dojos, know what the going rate is for those items and price it accordingly. See what happens. The biggest thing I will caution you about is overpricing your whole entire closet, because most people will come and be like, this girl is whack. Like, I am not paying $80 for an Ann Taylor loft dress or skirt or whatever. There are some crazy prices that I see on Poshmark, and stupid. So make sure you're pricing it to sell if you want it to sell. If you're pricing it to see if you can get more money out of it and let it sit for a while, then that's your prerogative, but just know that it's not gonna be a quick sell and you're not gonna have that money really quickly. All right, last thing real quick. When people pay you on Poshmark, they are gonna pay and it's gonna sit in this little green dot up here. You have this little green dot. Ooh, can you see that? There's a little green dot right here, and that is where your money goes. That money is held until the person accepts that item or it was delivered for 3 days. And they have 3 days to look at the item and say it's messed up or not, and then they accept it or file for a return. That money you can then transfer into your bank account, and it generally takes about 2 days to go into my bank account. Or you can request a check, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. I know this is bad in case I get hacked, but, well, I won't tell you in case one of you decides to hack me, but I would transfer your money when you get it, or, if you want to build it up every Friday, like a paycheck, however you want to do it. I know this wasn't like this magic video about pricing and telling you exactly how to price stuff, because there is no magic formula for pricing. It really truly is dependent on the item, the condition, the market, what else is selling, what else has sold. And so I can't sit here and tell you what to price your different stuff, because that just doesn't work. If you have any questions, as always, like I said, I love when you guys ask me questions. Comment below. I'll try to answer them. And thank you for watching. Please watch Poshmark 101 and 102 if you haven't, if you're new, because it gives you a great amount of information that I think you'll really like.